3S machine. The legendary driver's been around many, many years in that 3S machine there with Steve Smith. I remember being really young and watching Steve Smith race and come down occasionally to the Carolinas, down in North Carolina and also South Carolina occasionally. Rolling out on to the speedway there in the 17S. It's going to be the driver out of Dade City, Florida. It's going to be Braden Smith. Braden Smith now on the clock, and behind him it's going to be the 56H machine. That is a Savage chassis. Southern Pride, Land and Cattle, Country Cafe, Denby's J&J on that entry. That is Jordan Horton. Coming back to the line, Braden Smith with a 14.59. He'll go second quick. Horton back to the line. He'll go third quick with a 14.66 for Horton as he works into turn number 1 and 2. Smith ripping the lip off the corner here in qualifying. VP Racing Fuels qualifying. He'll stay second quick back to the line here for Jordan Horton. See if he can improve. He'll stay third, both drivers. Second and third currently as it stands. Also, Discount Auto Parts, Highway Traffic Control, SEAL, Property Management, Star Septic, American Racer, Denby's J&J Construction on that entry there for Jordan Horton in the 56 machine. He goes third quick. Braden Smith will go there in second quick. Rolling out on to the speedway in the C5 machine, another Tennessee native. He will roll and stroll down into the corner of the driver to Maryville, Tennessee in the C5, David Crabtree. Hitch Machine Repair, Orrs Automotive Competition Racing Equipment, Savage Chassis, Merriman Excavating on that entry for the C5 of David Crabtree, who will go third quick on lap number 1 with a 14.61. Down into the corner, it's going to be the 00 machine, the driver of Lenore City, Tennessee. Or no, that is Jordan Rodeball in the 66 machine. So Rodeball, the driver out of Tennessee. It's not Daisy, Tennessee in the 66 machine. He will now work his way into turn number 3 and 4. Sliding in there right in front of where Mayfield was supposed to go. Oh, and he's going to have an off-road excursion. Rodeball with a 15.28 for Jordan Rodeball, 7th quick. Here in VP Racing Fuels qualifying for the Southern All-Stars as it stands. David Crabtree, that last time I putting up new quick time for the C5 entry. The driver to Maryville, Tennessee with a 14.40. It is David Crabtree, Gray Parton, Braden Smith, Jordan Horton, Heath Heidman, your top 5 as it stands. Rolling out on to the speedway. It is going to be the 15 machine of Will Hicks. Hicks in the Longhorn Phantom Racing Engines entry as he comes by. Behind him, the driver out of Lenore City, Tennessee with a Savage chassis, B&B motor underneath the power plant under the hood. RM Trucking on that entry. Vineyard Lawn and Construction. That is Ruben Mayfield. Hicks back to the line. He'll go 8th quick with a 15.39. Ruben Mayfield ripping the lip off the corner back to the Flagstead where he's going to fall in the order. 5th quick with a 14.74. Hicks now back to the line, concluding his second lap. He'll stay 8th quick with a 15.12, his best lap. Here comes Mayfield looking to bring the milk off the corner, and he does so with a good effort there. 5th quick with a 14.67. That time by for the driver out of Lenore City, Tennessee, Ruben Mayfield. Still everybody chasing the Maryville, Tennessee native with a 14.40 of David Crabtree. Gray Parton, Braden Smith, Jordan Horton, Ruben Mayfield, Heath Heidman, your top 6. Evan Harrell there in 7th, and we're going to roll the next couple of drivers down the hill. It is going to be the 97, another driver out of Maryville, Tennessee, Bobby Giffen in the 97. Behind him in the 8 machine, that is a Capital race car. Gibson Motorsports, Penske Racing Shocks, Payne Excavating, PPM on the side. John Boy Exterminating, Divine Towing for the coach, David Payne, the North Carolina native, looking to stay in the game. He'll work down into turn number 1. Griffin going to take it down into the corner. The 97 machine working off of turn number 3 and 4. Bobby Giffen now off the corner. White flag in the air. Bobby Giffen will go 9th quick that time by. Giffen 9th quick back to the line for Payne. Payne 7th quick as it stands. Both drivers looking to haul the mail on lap number 2 to improve. Checkered flag there for the 97. He'll jump a big jump, 14.70. He'll go to 6th quick. David Payne back to the line. Huge jump for him as well with a 14.43. Payne now moves into third on the speed charts in that Capital Race Car. Penske Racing Shop, Payne Excavating, Gibson Motorsports entry, also Divine Towing, John Boy Exterminating, and PPM Racing Products on that entry for David Payne, the driver out of Murphy, North Carolina. Rolling out onto the speedway, going to be the 17 SR of Brody Smith out of Dade City, Florida. He'll roll down the hill. Behind him, a three-time Southern All-Stars champion. In a Capital Race Car, Stacy Whitfield on the side of his ride. It is, of course, the Chattanooga Flash, the Hall of Famer, Ronnie Johnson. There's a B+B power plant underneath the hood. Like I said, Capital chassis there for Johnson. And we will see, of course, the white flag this time by for the 17 of Smith. Up on the high side, out in no man's land, but definitely pays dividends as it'll go a 14.51 for Brody Smith. Back to the line for the Chattanooga Flash, Ronnie Johnson. Johnson 10th, quick with a 14.75. Smith coming by. New quick time, Brody Smith with a 14.25. The Florida native goes to the top of the board. Ronnie Johnson back to the checkered flag. Ronnie going to jump up to 7th quick with a 14.67. For, of course, the Chattanooga Flash, the Hall of Famer, the three-time Southern All-Stars champion, looking to be a four-time champion with the series right now. Of course, like I said, after the 18-race format, the drops come into play. Franklin would finish second unless there's a massive problem here tonight with Billy Franklin, who would become a two-time series champion. Rolling down the hill, another one of our great points competitors. It is a driver out of Sparta, Tennessee, in a CVR race car, Race Tech engine underneath the hood. Riverside Custom, Northfield Vineyards on the ride. It is Michael Luna in the 112. Behind him in that 17 machine, it's going to be the Franklin Enterprises Browns Auto Alignment, Rocket XR1 Zippy Auto LLC, Skinner's Body Shop for a former series champion and Billy Franklin. Franklin now working down the back straight away. Luna down working into turn number 1 and 2. Lightning quick, ripping the lip up on the top side, almost the left wheel. Coming off the ground there for Billy Franklin. Franklin, though, going to have to put it all into lap number 2. Only 13th quick. That's all he could muster. Luna 15th quick. Franklin now trying to reel it back in to get a good qualifying on the night. He'll move up to 11th. He'll inch up slightly with a 14.81. Luna now back to the line. He will settle for 15th quick with a 15.76 there for Luna. Everybody, heavy smoke coming out of the back of the 17 machine of Franklin as he comes off a 3 and 4. I don't see it trailing behind him as he heads to the pit area, but definitely as he let off the throttle, smoke coming out of that machine. Daniel Bowles, who is very quick in hot laps, presented by My Race Pass, going to roll out onto the speedway behind him in a Rocket XR1 chassis, owned by Billy Franklin. It's the 317 of Kendall Franklin, a driver out of Alabama. Durham engine underneath the hood, Rocket Power Plant, Franklin Enterprises on that entry. Zippy's Auto on that entry as well. Also, Brown Auto, Showtime, and Showtime Properties on that entry there for Franklin. White flag for Kendall as he comes by. 5th quick with a 14.48 for Kendall Franklin. Back to the line, Daniel Bowles, 7th quick with a 14.63. Franklin, though, going to stay 5th quick, and he has had a last run of momentum towards the end of the season with great finishes. He's reeled those off in that 317 entry. Has a great chance to finish 3rd overall in the point standings if he has a good run tonight there in Kendall Franklin. We, of course, will have live videos at the end of the night covering how the points will fall, how everything will fall out in the championship standings. Rolling out onto the speedway in the number 95 machine out of Waynesville, North Carolina, it is Alex Vance. In that black number 95 machine, Blue Ridge Contracting, Clark's Plumbing, Best Builders, Anytime Towing, Vance Automotive on that entry, VTA Motors as well. Behind him, it is going to be the 24 machine, a great run at Dixie a couple of weeks ago. It is Peyton Stevenson, the driver out of Georgia, in a Rocket XR1. He'll work down the back straightaway. Real American Beer also on that entry as well for Peyton Stevenson. He'll rip the lip off of the corner off of 3 and 4. Stevenson now back to the clock. Will look 7th quick with a 14.62. Back to the line there for Alex Vance. Vance only 12th quick on that first lap of the 14.69. Everybody working the top side, trying to keep the momentum up. Stevenson going to come by. 2nd quick for Peyton Stevenson with a 14.34. After that top 5 run, he is a perennial favorite coming into tonight. Alex Vance will stay 12th quick with a 14.67. So that Rocket XR chassis there, BYCRS also on that entry along with Real American Beer. For Peyton Stevenson, the driver out of Georgia, going to go 2nd quick. Everybody still chasing, of course, the Florida native Brody Smith, David Crabtree, Gray Parton, David Payne, Kendall Franklin, Breeden Smith, Daniel Bowles, Jordan Horton, and Ronnie Johnson, your top 10 here in qualifying so far. Rolling out onto the speedway in the 44 machine. John Owenby going to work down into turn number 1. Behind him in the R1 machine, a multi-time Southern All-Stars champion. It is Riley Hickman. Good to have him back with the series as well. Oh, the 44 going to go out of the building and off into the hole. Goes the 44. And it is going to take a wrecker to get him out of that hole. He slid off the racing surface. There is no walls down there to catch you in turn number 3 and 4. That is the unique and beautiful thing about I-75. If you've never been here before, it's a racetrack inside a racetrack, literally. And there, of course, is walls, but, of course, in 3 and 4, there is no walls, and you can slide out of the building and have an off-road excursion. John Owenby doing that, and he is going to have the hook because the left rear of that entry is down into one of the drainage holes down there in turn number 4. So here comes the tractor. Here comes the hook, and he's going to need the boom. Live look-in going on Dirt Rich TV. Live look-in here during qualifying. In case you missed it, you're just tuning in here. Right now, as it stands, the Florida native Brody Smith at the top of the board with a 14.25. That is the fast time here in VP Racing Fuels qualifying. Peyton Stevenson, 2nd quick, the Georgia native. David Crabtree, the Tennessee native. The North Carolina native of Gray Parton. And then behind him, it is going to be David Payne, Kendall Franklin, Braden Smith. All those behind him. We're going to take just a small break because we're going to have to get this 44 machine of OMB down off into no man's land over here with the hook. Race fans, of course, coming up after this. Got 604 late models, I believe. Thunder as well, front-wheel drive, still coming up. Heat race action for Southern All-Stars. We'll take the top 5 out of heat races, and we will have heats here tonight. 2 set our field, then a B main, and 2 provisional spots. As we get the 44 machine hooked up here. I want to thank our great friends over at Dirt Rich TV live look-in right now, currently going on. I want to thank, of course, our marketing partners, VP Racing Fuel, fueling the Southern All-Stars. I want to thank American Racer. Also want to thank Dirt on Dirt, all lake models, all the time. Gentry, Used Auto Parts, Olivia Gentry, of course, the realtor we trust. MD3 Components, Velocita Racewear, Zippy's Auto LLC. And I want to thank, of course, our great friends over at Knowles Racing Parts, Full Moon Graphics, also Matt Mann Designs, My Race Pass as well. Of course, coming into tonight, the Chattanooga Flash, Ronnie Johnson. He, of course, is the all-time win leader with the series. Of course, behind him, Chris Madden, Dale McDowell, Mike Head, Scott Bloomquist, the late great driver. Also, Dwayne Hummel on that list as well, tied with Randy Weaver. Just to give you a few of the drivers, of course, that are top of the wins list. Jimmy Owens, 15 wins as well. Clint Smith up there in the top 10 of all-time winners with the series. Once again, looking for 604s. Thunder be getting ready as well. Yep, I'm going to swap them. I believe Thunder's going to go in front of 604s. But, guys, we want you to be ready to go at least about a class or two deep throughout the night. Really want to try to keep this show moving throughout the evening and try to get everybody out of here at a decent time like we did last night. Pretty much about 9:30 last night. We were complete and done. Here comes, let's hear it, race fans, the 44 machine. John Owenby back out on the racing surface. I don't believe he got a lap in the books. Never taken, I believe, the green flag to complete that lap. So see if he's going to exit stage right here in qualifying. He does so. So that means it will just be Riley Hickman trying to finish his qualifying. And look there at the top of the hill. It's going to definitely get interesting with those next two cars with the 23 of Corey Hitchcock and Garrett Smith. Hickman, though, of course, he is one to watch, a multiple-time series champion and multi-time winner. With Riley Hickman, he'll pick the pace up, and now he is on the clock. Hickman now going to work his way around the I-75 Raceway down into turn number 3 and 4. Riley Hickman now. White flag in the air for Hickman in the R1. Hickman on lap number 1 with a 14.47. 14.47. Can he pick it up as he rockets down the back straightaway down into turn number 3 and 4? Hickman now ripping the top side of the speedway back to the line. Hickman P2 on lap 2 with a 14.33 for Riley Hickman. Now Hickman going to let out of it in turn number 3 and 4. Telling him on the race receiver, you got the 2 laps. They're in the books. You don't get a third. Hickman, of course, in one of those Franklin Enterprises entry. Franklin Enterprises, I believe they've got about 3 or 4 cars in the field here tonight. With Hickman, Cruz, Skinner, Kendall Franklin, and Billy Franklin all behind the wheel. Rolling out onto the speedway. And, of course, that beautiful Longhorn chassis, Eagle Racing Engines, Base Racing Fuel, all on that entry. Kaiser Manufacturing. It is Corey Hedgecock in a 23 machine behind him. And the Atlanta Paving and Grading, Vic Hill Racing Engine underneath the hood. TMC, VP Racing Fuel, Boswell Oil Company, Cadillac Ranch. It is the 10 of Garrett Smith. Smith now going to work into the corner. A Cadillac Ranch, Bill Steen Shocks also on that entry. Atlanta Paving and Grading back to the line. Second quick with a 14.30. Hedgecock working the lip. Kaiser Manufacturing, Base Racing Fuel. He's going to be 5th quick with a 14.38. Garrett Smith now off into turn number 3 and 4. Checkers in the air. New quick time with a 14.13. Garrett Smith to the top of the board. Corey Hedgecock slow, though, on that second lap, and he will limp it back around. Don't know if he was just letting out of it for the second lap, but he is 5th quick with a 14.38 as he exits off the speedway. And we will roll the next couple of drivers down the hill here in qualifying. We should be getting towards the end of this one with Cruz, Skinner, and yes, it is the final 2. And the 18 machine, the driver out of Alabama. It is Cruz Skinner in that Franklin Enterprise, one of those 4 entries for the Franklin camp here tonight. And also rolling out on the speedway, the 3D, Dakota Smith, the driver out of Powell, Tennessee. And the 18 of Skinner now. Skinner, we're going to see where he is going to fall. here in this one. Not what he's going to lock in lap number 1 there for Cruise Center, 17th quick. Looking to improve big time on the second lap. He'll make that jump to 10th quick with a 14.49. Smith back to the line in the 3D. The 3D machine going 20th quick with a 14.83. And they continue there at the gate. The cars continue to roll in. Another hauler. We've seen a couple of enduro cars, so the car count continues to go up. Here with 27 supers, I'm going to be interested to see how the enduro shakes out and see how many actually have gotten registered. At one point we had 13. We've had races, of course, where we've had almost 30 enduros, 18 enduros this year. Continuing to grow that one. North Georgia Speedway, November 22nd, 5,000 to win. Southern National Enduro Series. Make your plans to be there. That's going to be on a beautiful Saturday. Going to turn things back over to the folks here at I-75 Raceway as we get ready to roll with, I believe, Thunder rolling down the hill.
Thank you, Walter. As we roll our Thunder division out on the track for their hot lap qualifying. Coming by the flag stand here, we got the 65 machine of Ray Jen Shepard, the 44 of Tim Nolan. We got the 27 machine out there of Dustin Brown. The 71 machine of Carlissa Stewart. Then we got the 25 machine of John Walker. As we're green flag on group number 1 of our Thunder division for a hot lap qualifying. As caution is out, as a 71 machine of Carlissa Stewart goes around in turn 2, and no harm, no foul. We're coming back to green this time by. Looks like the 27 machine of Dustin Brown going to make an exit to the right and take it off the track. Tough break for that driver. But we're green flag for our hot lap qualifying for his Thunder division. As we got 10 drivers signed in for the Thunder tonight. Ray Jen Shepard at the top of the board right now. Little quicker that lap. He goes to 18.239. Tim Nolan second. John Walker third. Carlissa Stewart in fourth. Checker flag in the air for group number 1 of our Thunder division. 604 late models. 604 late models. I need you in staging for your qualifying. You are next. 604 late models. I need you in staging. Your qualifying is next. Front wheel drive. Front wheel drive. I need you to be making your final preparations for your hot lap qualifying. Front wheel drive. Please be making your final preparations for your hot lap qualifying. So after group number 1, Ray Jen Shepard at the top of the board with 18.239 is the time to beat right now. As we get ready to roll group number 2 out onto the speedway. Coming down on the track, and that number 5 machine, we got Tony Walker. Right behind him in that blue car in the 7 machine, we got Doug. Got Doug Gooder. Then we got the 3X of Curtis Smith. And we got the 00 of Bubba Chowett. Got the number 1 machine right there, Roger Smith. As green flag is out on group number 2 of our Thunder division. Roger Smith. Fourth quick. Tony Walker, third quick so far. Caution on the speedway coming to the checker as the one machine of Roger Smith loops it around off turn 4. As that'll do it for your Thunder division. Your post center for tonight for your feature is going to be Ray Jen Shepard. Roger Smith second. Tim Nolan third. Tony Walker fourth. And Curtis Smith rounds out your top 5. As we shift gears to our 604 late models. Front wheel drive. I need you to make your way to staging for your hot lap qualifying. Front wheel drive. Be making your way to staging for your hot lap qualifying. Southern Allstars. Be making your final preparations for your heat races. Southern Allstars. Please be making your final preparations for your heat races. As we get ready to roll our 604 late models out onto the speedway. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors here at I-75 Raceway. Jackie Jones Ford of Sweetwater, Tennessee. RMR Legal of Cleveland, Tennessee. Vision Wheels. PPM Racing Products over in Rockwood, Tennessee. American Racing Tires. Dirt Car Lift. Hickman Manufacturing. Napa of Sweetwater. Best Plumber. Agency Creek Campground. Hiwassee Marina Bait and Tackle. Andy Deal Trucking, our official sponsor of our 602 late models here. Booze Fireworks, Carl Biggs Trucking, and Cleveland Fasteners. You get a chance to go out and support one of those fine folks. Tell them how much you appreciate what they do for us here at I-75 as we get ready to roll our first few out for our 604 late models. Out on the track first, we got the 611 machine of Colton Herbert. And we got the 369 machine of Andy Picklesmeyer. Colton Herbert at the top of the board with a 15.235. Andy Picklesmeyer second with a 15.374. As we get ready to roll group number 2 out. As here comes our next group of our 604 late models coming down on the track, and that 01 machine, we got Dylan Johnson. Right behind him, going to be the 4X of Chris Wilson. As the time to be right now is a 15.235 by Colton Herbert. Dylan Johnson, third quick on lap number 1. Chris Wilson up to third quick. Checkered flag in the air for Dylan Johnson. Goes second quick with a 15.340. Chris Wilson goes second quick in that 4X with a 15.308. Still the 611 machine of Colton Herbert at the top of the board with a 15.235. As we get ready to roll our next 2 out for our 604s. Front wheel drive, front wheel drive. You need to be in staging. You are next. Front wheel drive. You need to be in staging. You are next for your hot lap qualifying. Southern Allstars, Southern Allstars. You need to be making your final preparations for your heat race. Southern Allstars, please be making your final preparations for your heat races. Rolling out on the track now. Last night's winner in the 602 Red Clay Series, Bryson Hickman. As he rolls out on the track there. And next we got the Z1 machine of Zach Shannon, that Crossville, Tennessee driver. Second quick on lap 1 for Bryson Hickman. Zach Shannon and goes 6 quick. Bryson Hickman, he'll stay second quick with a 15.266. See if Zach Shannon picks it up any on his second lap. He'll pick it up a little. He'll stay 6 quick. Still, Colton Herbert at the top of the board with a 15.235. As we get ready to roll the next 2 out onto the speedway. As last night's winner, Bryson Hickman, he's second right now on the speed charts as he did. He won the Red Clay Series race last night here. As here comes our Nets group out on the speedway. We got the 369 machine, 369D machine of Keith Dishman. And we got the 12 machine of Bryson Hogan. Keith Dishman 7th quick on lap number 1. Bryson Hogan jumps it up to 7th quick. Checker flags in the air. Keith Dishman will jump to 7th quick. It looks like the 12 machine of Bryson Hogan has some trouble. He's going to exit early. Tough break for that driver. As we get ready to roll our next 2 out onto the speedway. As we got the D16 machine right there. That's Devin Mason. Followed by the 23 machine of Corey Hedgecock. Corey Hedgecock 7th quick on lap number 1. Corey Hedgecock a little quicker. He'll go 6th quick with a 15.472. Still the time to beat is that 611 machine of Colton Herbert with a 15.235. We got 3 more cars left of qualifying for our 604 late models. Front wheel drive, front wheel drive. You should be in staging for your hot lap qualifying. You are next. Front wheel drive. You should be in staging. Your hot lap qualifying is next. Rolling down on the speedway in that 17 machine, we got Tiffany Hensley. Right behind her, we got the 70 machine of David Cardwell. This green flag is out. Lap 1 in the book for Tiffany Hensley. She'll go 11th quick. Oh, David Cardwell slides off turn 2 off the back straightaway. He'll get back on here and keep her rolling. Tiffany Hensley, she'll move up to 8th quick. David Cardwell, he gonna call it early. Tough break for that driver.